So very important video if you feel high salaries are actually a trap. Now, one person called me and he said, Anand, I make over 50 lakhs. So he made somewhere around 55 lakhs and he said, I'm not getting calls because my salary is already high. So that thing was in his mind already. I asked him, why you think your salary is high? He said, recruiters told me, hiring managers told me that you are already beyond our budget. We cannot, even consider your application. So I said, okay, let's pause and deep dive into what actually is the situation. So I asked him few questions. Where do you work? What do you do? How much experience, etc. So he said he works in an IT services company. His salary is about 50, somewhere around 55. And he said that his role is of an engineering manager. And in fact, he is doing beyond that. So he is actually playing the role of his boss because his boss was off for 3 months. Now, with that kind of a detail, I asked him, what kind of positions are you applying for? Then he told me a list of companies which were mostly similar to what his current employer was, a set of service companies. And then I asked him, okay, what kind of roles are you applying? He said, I'm applying in similar roles, which is engineering manager role, which is a project manager plus or a program manager, senior program manager kind of a role. I said, okay, let's hold on. I see there is a problem, right? So what I want to tell all of you with this is how you approach the market is absolutely important. And for that, you need to have an open mindset. See, at each level, companies have a pay bracket. So if you are an engineering manager or project manager or a program manager, they have a higher and a lower limit within which they will pay you. So now this guy was making 2-3 mistakes. One is he was underselling himself. So he was already an engineering manager for 4-5 years and he was doing some part of his boss's responsibility who was on leave for whatever reason. He could have easily positioned himself for the next level. So what mistake he was doing is A, he was underselling, and mistake number 2 is he was applying in similar companies. So if you have to break out of a salary peak, then you need to look at different industries, different type of companies. For example, we asked him then to apply for GCCs. We asked him to apply in product companies. We asked him to apply in late stage or growth stage startups. These are the kind of companies who will probably have a better potential to pay you. Service companies have that limit, but these companies may not have that limit, right? So we asked him to change that. Third thing, we looked at his resume and his LinkedIn profile. Now, as many of us, LinkedIn profile was more or less dead. He had a very old photo. His profile was not active at all. So we told him, boss, your profile needs to be reactivated. Even if you have 10, 15 or maybe 20, 25 people whom you know and they also know you, you need to reignite that, right? You need to reignite the connection. So don't go and directly ask for a job, but at least reignite and make the connections warm. Talk to people, not just on LinkedIn, but also on WhatsApp, sometimes call people. So that was something which we did. Plus, we rebranded his entire resume. Okay. We told him, right now your resume says project manager, program manager, engineering manager. This needs to change. Now you need to pitch for bigger roles. So first go into these companies, your target companies, GCCs, product startups, right? Look for director level roles or AVP level roles and look what they are asking for. And if you think that based on your current skills and past experience, you can apply for that kind of roles. Of course, you will not be 100% fit, but you need to pitch for that. So let's say if you are fit 70% or 80% and there is a 20% gap, look at learning that 20%, right? It can be a strategy thing. It can be something with leadership skills. Try to see if you can get some trainings or workshops. And then we rebranded his entire profile from being an engineering manager to playing a director level role, which he was already doing for last 3 months. So the resume talked about how big a team he was leading. We told him, okay, you are leading a team of 50 people, 70 people, that's fine. But where is the business impact? You need to write the business impact. You need to write about the transformation that you are leading, right? You need to quantify all those things. So his entire profile was redone. And then we told him, now you go and post on LinkedIn about the kind of work you have done. Maybe some case studies, talk about your past experiences, share thoughts about some article you have read so that your profile becomes warm and active and people start to see you, right? And then you start to apply. But in parallel, what is most important is start to prepare for interviews, right? You need to do a thorough preparation. Without preparation, even if you get a call, it's almost certain that you will not pass because there is no preparation. So you need to understand what kind of questions are getting asked in a director level. Let's say about strategy, about negotiation, about conflict management, about metrics and reporting, about scaling the business, about profitability. So there are so many aspects that you will need to perform in an interview and show that you have done it in the past. So finally, when he did all of this, then he started to get some traction because now the recruiters did not see him as the project manager or engineering manager, because for that role, the budget was only 35 lakhs. When he started to position himself for the director role, then he started to get calls which were ready to pay 55 or beyond. So then eventually, finally, he got an offer from a GCC which paid him somewhere around 60 lakhs plus. So it was not a big jump from 55 to, some golden number. It was from 55 to, let's say, 60 or something beyond that. But moral of the story is, if you think the salary is a trap, then it is a trap. What you need to understand is, how do you break the barrier? You can break the barrier in only 2-3 ways that come in my mind. One is change the industry. So if you're working in services company, apply in GCCs, product, startups, consulting, etc. So change the industry. Number 2, change the role. Look for an elevated role. For that, you will have to fill some gap, do some learning, gain some experience. Please do that. Number 3, look for location. If you have a location constraint, then your options are very limited, right? If you expand that, then you will get more options. And lastly, the branding, right? How you brand yourself. If you're still calling yourself as a project manager, engineering manager, nobody is going to pay you that amount. You will have to brand yourself in that way, the way you talk, the way you write, the way you present yourself, all of that has to change. And these things don't happen overnight. So markets pay for value, markets pay for positioning. They simply don't pay for how much big team you have managed or what kind of experience you have, unless you tell them the business impact, right? So next time you're thinking that you are not getting calls because of a high salary, think again, think how you can reposition and rebrand yourself. This video was just an example. I know your situation will be different and it would not be that straightforward. This entire thing was not done in a week or so. We took a lot of time to get here. But the whole point of this video is to tell you that it is very much possible. You are only limited by your imagination. I hope this helps you. Let me know what you think about it in comments. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it in the WhatsApp groups. I'll see you in another video soon. Take care and bye for now.